The memo was meant to be a confidential communication between the Minister of State of Petroleum, Ibe Kachikwu, and his boss, President Muhammadu Buhari, who also doubles as a senior Minister of Petroleum. But it was leaked to the local media recently. Minister Kachikwu referred to the leakage as distressing. A statement he issued after the leak said the memo is a regular communication meant to streamline things in the NNPC, but it's raising criticisms of the management style in a company that accounts for 90% of Nigeria's export revenue. He complained of being edged out of important decisions at the NNPC. The minister also claimed the NNPC boss, Maikanti Baru, awarded contracts to the tune of $24 billion without approval of the NNPC board, unilaterally fired and appointed top management at the NNPC, and refused to be supervised by his ministry. The NNPC has severally been accused of being opaque and ridden with corruption, in some cases failing to remit billions of dollars of oil revenue to government coffers. Some of its former employees are facing prosecution for theft of millions of dollars from the company. President Buhari promised to clean it up, and part of that effort included appointing the current MD, now being accused of abuse of office by his line minister. To many here, the email just shows more work is yet to be done.
If the government is very keen about cleaning up the system, the first place to start, then the priority should be the oil sector and particularly NNPC, and therefore the government should, there should be no kid gloves, so that's the first place where you need to sanitize the place and make it work. This letter is showing that that is not happening.
The NNPC Group Managing Director has now issued a written press statement. He called the claims in the memo unfortunate. He's not denying award of the said contracts, but disagrees he needed to seek approval from the NNPC board, especially for contracts exceeding $10 million. Some of the contracts he awarded range between $5 to $10 billion. Industry observers disagree with his claim of autonomy in award of contracts.
All these contracts are usually approved at the Federal Executive Council, and they are brought by the respective ministers for the respective. So by all the indications from this letter, none of these processes happened. So if I'm an investor, I'm going to be very wary, because it means that, okay, look, for example, it means that because these contracts did not follow due process, they can actually be cancelled.
So far, President Buhari has met with Minister Ibe Kachikwu over his allegations. We understand the NNPC Managing Director also met with the Vice President over the content of the leaked memo. The outcomes of the meetings have not been made public, but the Senate has set up a committee to investigate the claims raised by Minister Ibe Kachikwu, and that's why it's difficult to tell what would follow, if any. Kelechi, Emekalam, CGTN, Abuja, Nigeria.